What if I told you that the Bitcoin ETF launch is a generational wealth trap?
It's a trap!
But for the trap to spring, a massive money-making opportunity will also need to be created first. And that opportunity could see you walk away with some very juicy profits. I warn you now though, if you enter this game, you'll be dancing with the devil himself. And if you want to escape unscathed, you better listen up. Okay, I might be being a little dramatic. If you're a boomer or have boomers in your family, or you're just a cutthroat looking to make a quick buck during the crypto chaos, you need to watch this video. And yes, there's some stuff in here that you might find too historic or educational for your taste, but trust me, see this one through to the end and you'll uncover the opportunity inside the madness. Welcome to another episode of Money and Mirth. See you after the intro trailer.
Yes, the world is going mad. Sigma grind set, what the fuck is that? The middle class taking up their asses, the rich preying on their empty pockets. I'll own nothing and I'll be happy. Make it make sense to me. We're the scum of the earth, and we'll laugh till it hurts. It's Money and Mirth.
Let's set the scene. We live in a world where a very small percentage of people control most of the world's wealth and means of production. And it seems that this group likes to play a game of global monopoly, harvesting all the cash until there are no players left.
I have the monopoly.
Everywhere I go, I owe you money.
The point of the game is to teach you the harshities of the world, Jackson.
1, I pay you the money.
And what's number 2?
They have several preferred tactics for raiding the wealth of the masses, including economic boom and bust cycles, utilizing rapid interest rate decreases and deregulation, which leads to floods of people overexposing themselves to debt, only to find themselves faced with rapid interest rate rises, leading to deleveraging events, repossessions, and bankruptcies on huge scales. Hyperinflation. No need to explain that one, as you've been slapped in the face with it every day for the last couple of years. How about extensive lockdowns leading to mass business closures? In the investment and trading world, we get bear markets and bull runs capitalizing on fear and greed. I could go on. Now, of course, some of you will say all of this is random and just part of a complex global economy. And if that's how you feel, you may find what I discuss next hard to understand. So I recommend you watch our video explaining the global corporate pyramid scheme going on all around us to understand the context in which I speak a little better. I'll drop a link to that in the description. All right, let's get into it. In the global game of Monopoly, boomers are one of the last bastions of private wealth. Born between 1946 and 1964, this generation grew up during a post-war economic explosion with higher wages, better job security, and a favorable housing market that allowed many of them to purchase properties which have appreciated in value significantly over time. In 1972, the median price of a home was around $26,800, which would be approximately $190,000 in 2022. However, by 2022, the median home price has soared to around $440,000, demonstrating a huge increase over the past 50 years, far outpacing the rate of inflation. Of course, not all boomers are rich. According to some estimates, almost half of them are behind on their retirement plans. Make note of that fact for later. But in general, boomers had a far different financial landscape than more recent generations. Take a look at some of these statistics. College costs were around 50% cheaper for boomers than we see today. Medical costs were around 35% cheaper. A new car was almost 50% cheaper than it is today. Even the cost of Disney World has increased dramatically since boomer times. All right, enough history lessons. Hopefully you can see that money-savvy boomers are now one of the few remaining gold mines, especially considering more recent generations can barely even afford to leave home. Let's get to the crackpot conspiracy theories. Certain people, for the sake of simplicity, let's call them institutions, would no doubt like to get their hands on some of that sweet boomer wealth, or at least make that wealth work for them. The problem they have is that a lot of it is now wrapped up in 401ks, pension pots, and brokerage accounts. The launch of the Bitcoin ETF solves this problem in 2 ways. Number 1, it allows people to buy Bitcoin without needing to be a computer nerd or risk getting scammed in Telegram groups. And number 2, it means that pension funds and other investments can easily be allocated to Bitcoin. In simple terms, being a Bitcoin boss suddenly became achievable for boomers. So what's the bait in this trap? Well, number one is fear of missing out. Boomers have spent years on the sidelines watching crypto explode whilst their kids and grandkids gloat about their gains at the dinner table over the holidays. You just don't understand. You're just too old. Suddenly, these uncool old folks get the opportunity to hang out with the cool kids. Human psychology never fails to disappoint, and as stupid as it sounds, being cool will be part of the attraction. Number two is greed. Money, money, money. The ETF sponsors will play it cool, but their army of affiliates and financial advisors, well, that's another story. The crypto industry is infamous for shouting about overnight millionaires, the Lambos, the meme coin explosions, and I have no doubt that this type of marketing will make its way over to the boomer crowd. It will just be adapted to the audience to sound a little less ridiculous. And the third one is desperation, impatience, and the YOLO factor. So what about the 40 or 50% of boomers I mentioned who are actually behind on their retirement savings? Do you think they'll be able to resist the siren song of get rich quick early retirement? I think a lot of people will be desperate for a quick fix, especially if it comes from a trustworthy investment firm where the nice men and women wear fancy suits.
Wait, boomers, don't do it!
Come along, my little dears, my little mice. Come to me. What will it be? Ice cream?
Yes, ice cream! Please,
Chocolate?
Chocolate!
Inside. Come along, my little dears. Go inside, not a play. Go inside, my little dears.
If you're enjoying this video, can you go ahead and click that like button? It really helps us get this content to more people just like you. Fear of missing out, greed, YOLO typically work best during a buying frenzy because it's human nature to throw logic out the window and start making crazy fucking decisions based on gut feelings. And that's where the opportunity for you comes into play. If the marketing machines behind Bitcoin and the ETFs can trigger a Bitcoin bull run, then we are going to see massive price increases, not just for Bitcoin, but also the wider cryptocurrency market. During those periods, we often see price movements in the hundreds of percents, sometimes even the thousands. It's a dangerous game though. Coins can pump and dump in a matter of minutes or hours, so if you don't know what you're doing, you can end up getting your fingers burned. I suggest checking the links in the description below for 2 different opportunities. Classical Traders offers training and mentoring so that you can learn how to trade crypto or other assets like a professional. Profit Farmers offers crypto trading signals that tell you exactly what to buy and where to sell it. You can open an account for free to test it out. Links and related videos are both down below. So what's the trap, I hear you ask? Well, it comes down to 2 things. The first is exit liquidity. The early inflows of boomer cash into the crypto market are going to help start the fires inside the bull run engine and pump up the price. But all bull runs inevitably come to an end, and they often end in the midst of huge amounts of euphoria and sensational headlines declaring ever-increasing price predictions. Oof. FOMO, greed, and YOLO are the flavors of the month, right up until the bubble bursts. Prices begin to crash, and people are left pissing into the wind wondering what went wrong. The bottom line is that huge institutions and investors have been buying up Bitcoin and crypto really cheap during the bear market, and they're looking for some suckers to sell it to for a massive, massive profit. Once your mum and dad and grandparents are talking around the table about Bitcoin, get ready for a massive market crash. If you recall the previous bull market top in 2021, the Super Bowl was full of crypto advertisements, including the now infamous Matt Damon "Fortune favors the brave" from Crypto.com. After those adverts, the price crashed and the bear market began.
And we'll reinvest the earnings into foreign currency accounts with compounding interest, and it's gone.
If you want to learn more about market manipulation, liquidity engineering, and how to turn it to your advantage, you should watch our other video covering that topic in detail. I explain how I predicted the end of the previous crypto bear market so that you'll be able to predict the top of the next bull run. Links are down below. Understanding the second part of the trap requires you to subscribe to the idea that there is indeed an ongoing economic rate reset agenda. And when I say idea, I should say reality, considering the people behind it went public in 2020. You could argue that removing private sources of wealth would be the quickest route to enforcing a new global economic system, through the sheer desperation of those left with nothing. If pension funds are exposed to Bitcoin and later down the line cryptocurrencies like Ethereum or Ripple, there could be devastating consequences for society if the crypto market ultimately tanks. And if history tells us anything, we should expect bloody days ahead. If you think this is an interesting topic in general, you'll probably enjoy our two-part deep dive into the universal basic income and how it could be the shiny new mask disguising a technocratic, communist economy of the future. But hey, I'm crazy, don't mind me. If the videos are already published, you can find a link for them in the description below. Otherwise, please subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss out. In fact, why not subscribe anyway? There is a massive opportunity here during this ETF madness, but only for the people that know how to get in and out of the markets at the right time.
There is nothing to fear here. That's what scares me. Stay here.
If you insist, senor.
Don't forget to check the description for more information and opportunities for cashing in on the crypto chaos. That's it from me. See you next time for more Money and Mirth.